Hey everyone, it's Miss Russell. I hope your day's off to a great start. We are going to get going with math today, and we are going to look back at the counting jar. And Miss Hodges introduced that to you last week, and we're going to take another look at it today, and we're going to add an extra step. But before we look at the counting jar, I have a book that I want to share with you. And this book is called Mouse Count. Have you ever heard this book before? What do you think this book might be about? Oh my, I see a snake. What do you think might happen in this book? Let's read and find out. This book is called Mouse Count. Look at the cute little mice. One fine day, some mice played in the meadow. They were careful to watch for snakes. Why do you think they had to be careful? But when the mice got sleepy, they forgot about snakes, and they all took naps. While they slept, a hungry snake went looking for dinner. On his way, he found a nice big jar. "I will fill this jar with dinner," he said. And it wasn't long before he found 3 mice, little, warm, and tasty, fast asleep. "First I will count them, and then I will eat them up," said the snake. "Mouse count. 1, 2, 3. He dropped them into the jar, but he was very hungry. 3 mice were not enough. Soon he found 4 more mice, little, warm, and tasty, fast asleep, and he counted them. 4, 5, 6, 7. But the snake was very, very hungry, and 7 mice were not enough. And at last he found 3 more mice, little, warm, and tasty, fast asleep, and he counted them. 8. Look at his jar. It's getting so full. 9. What comes next? 10. 10 mice are enough. Now I am going to eat you up, little, warm, and tasty, said the snake. "Wait," said one of the mice. "The jar isn't full yet. And look at the big mouse over there." The snake was very greedy, and he hurried off to get the big mouse. And while he was gone, the mice rocked the jar one way and another way. Can you rock back and forth? They're rocking the jar until over it went. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The little mice uncounted themselves and ran home. How do you think that snake is going to feel? The snake reached the big mouse, but it was only a cold, hard rock. He was tricked. And when he got back, what did he find? The jar was empty. This book is Mouse Count. So today we're going to take a look at the counting jar. And you first saw the counting jar last week with Miss Hodges. It looks a little bit like this. And this is a math routine that we'll do very often at school. And we're just going to see if we can find out how many tiles are in our counting jar. So in order to find that out, we're going to have to count them. So I'm going to reach my hand in. I'm going to pull them out. I'm going to see if I can lay them on my hand here so you can see them. All right. So here are my tiles that were in my counting jar. So let's count them and find out how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 blue tiles in my counting jar. Now, last week, you found out how many tiles are in your counting jar. This week, we're going to add an extra step. This week, we're going to see if we can figure out a way to record it. How could we show this on paper? Now, I have a big one here on my easel. I drew a counting jar and labeled it here. But you're going to have some counting jar papers in your baggie of materials this week, and you're going to use these just like Miss Russell is going to use this easel. I just want it to be very big for you to be able to see. So, I want us to think about the counting jar. We just counted blue tiles, and we counted 6. So, how can I show that on paper? How can I show that on my easel in my jar that I found 6 tiles? What could we do? What could we draw to show 6? Well, we could do circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's one way that we could show. What about if we did tally marks? 1, 2, 3, 6. That's another way that we could show that there's 6 in the jar. We could draw X's. And that's another way that we could represent how many's in the jar. But I want you to think of a way that you can represent 6. How can you show that there are 6 tiles or 6 objects in the counting jar? My favorite way, I like to make circles because they're just quick and snappy. They're efficient. Now, you don't have to do the same as me, but this is my favorite way. So I can see that there's 6. They're easy to count because I organized them. They're all in lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're easy to count. So this is a way that you can represent that on paper. So you're going to do that with your counting jar paper that's in your material baggie. Another thing that I want you to do is I want you to be able to make an equivalent set. So make a set that's the same. Equal means the same. So if we had 6 tiles, then I would like to build a tower of 6, or I would like to get 6 of something. So let's see if we can put together a tower of 6 to match that number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can show that number in several different ways. I can show the number 6. I have 6 cubes in my tower. I showed you 6 in the counting jar. And I also showed you that we had 6 tiles in our counting jar. So that's another way that we showed and saw 6. Do you know how to write the number 6? Let's try that. To make the number 6, start at the top and curl around. So a number 6, oh, can you see it well? There it is. A number 6 looks just like that. So I want you to practice today. I want you to make a set that matches mine, and I want you to represent it on paper as well. So the number 6. Give it a shot. All right, see you tomorrow, friends.